Hunter and Healer Alpha, free APIs, two mystery AI models just dropped on OpenRouter for completely free. Nobody knows who made them. Nobody has claimed them. And right now, today, they are sitting there live and available for you to use for free. Hunter Alpha has 1 trillion parameters and over 1 million tokens of context. That means it can hold an entire business worth of information in a single conversation and still reason through it clearly. Healer Alpha can see images, hear audio, watch video, reason across all of them at once, and take actions from there. So together they form something that has never existed before. And here's what makes this genuinely different from every other AI drop you've seen this year. Most free models are stripped down, slow, and good for one thing at best. These two were dropped anonymously. Some people are saying they're new versions of GPT 5.5, and right now, the entire AI world is asking the same question: who built this? So in this live stream, we're going to test both models live in front of you. We're going to run through some real business use cases. We're going to show you exactly how to connect them to your business for free. And we're going to show you why the solopreneur who moves fast on this right now gets a serious edge over everyone still waiting for perfect. So let's get straight into it. So you can see these new models right here. If you want to get access, you can just go to OpenRouter. So if you want to try these for free, you can go to OpenRouter and get access to both models. Here's the details. So you can see a million context window, and this is completely free as an API to use right now. Bear in mind with stealth models, typically what happens is they get released by a big company. So for example, like Pony Alpha was recently released, and then it then got released to, for example, GLM5. So just something to bear in mind there is like these models, sometimes they come out later and that sort of thing. So they get taken off the market later. And then we've also got, for example, Healer Alpha 2, right? So we can see the details on Healer Alpha, and you can see it right here. This is, again, another free model. This has a lower context window, but it's running completely for free, like you can see, and you can get free access right there. All right. So let's get straight into using these models. So if we go to the chat over here, we can get access. We can actually compare both of these side by side. So if we put Hunter Alpha inside here, we've got Hunter and Healer Alpha both ready and working right there. And then from here, what we can do is we can start using the APIs for these. All right. So if we go grab some prompts. So for example, let's say I want to build a new landing page for this website. We're going to go back to the chat inside OpenRouter, and we can plug in the information and say, create a beautiful, fun website for this. All right, and then we can click on create artifact as well, so we can switch to landing page as we're running a test for creating a new landing page for the AI Profit Boardroom as an example. Now you can see both APIs are running for free, right? So we've got Hunter Alpha there, and we've got Healer Alpha right there. So these are generating responses at the same time. Now, another interesting take, this is by Mark Kreshman, as you can see. He said GPT-5.0 might be what we're looking at here. So you can see here, he said GPT-5.0 may have surfaced on OpenRouter as Healer Alpha. So some people might be saying it's a new version of GPT-5.0. Others are saying it's GPT 5.5. Some people are saying it's even Grok. So it's kind of a guess right now. Nobody knows what it is or what the models actually are, etc. But either way, you can use them for free, and we'll see the results right here. So we've got the example back from Healer Alpha. So the Healer Alpha seems to be a lot faster. And that's the website that we've created for free directly inside OpenRouter. Right now, you can also get an API key for these, and then you could plug it into something like OpenClaw. That's pretty simple and easy to do as well. And you can see the website itself looks pretty cool. It's a nice background, looks good, works perfectly. It's good to go. And let's have a look at the version. Yeah, so that's a full screen version, as you can see as well. We can also download the code. So if you need to download the code from anything like that, you can just go to the version that you want to check out and then just click on download over here. And then if you want to get out of this, so this is the preview from Gila Alpha, just click the back button and then you can click into Hunter Alpha version as well. Hunter Alpha seems to be a lot slower on the output. So you can see these could be two different models. Like for example, the faster one could be GPT 5.0. And then this version could actually be like GPT 5.5 because it's a bit slower. It could be like the thinking version of it or that sort of thing. So that's still generating. That does seem really slow to reply. But let's talk about this. So a framework that I've created for using these APIs is called the Alpha Stack, right? So you got Hunter Alpha and you got Gila Alpha. And these are two free frontier models. So basically, you can use these in two different ways, right? Hunter Alpha can handle the brain work, the planning, the reasoning, the multi-step logic, the long context, because it's a million token context window. And also because it's a more powerful model, right? Whereas, for example, Gila Alpha handles the other stuff. So, for example, the images, the video, the audio, etc., the multimodal input that most AI models still can't do right now, right? Now, if we look at both of these models, Hunter Alpha is a 1 trillion parameter model, 1 million token context window. It was literally just released, it's free to use, it's built for agentic planning and multi-step reasoning, right? Whereas you got Gila Alpha, which is omnimodal, so vision, hearing, reasoning, action, much smaller token context window at 262K, released on the same date, free. And both of them, we don't know which API they relate to or which company they've been built by. So we have a 30-day plan for implementing this, but I would recommend just starting to test this out and seeing how it performs, right? You can get the 30-day plan with step-by-step prompts for each day inside the video notes from today. But that's basically how it works. We could try some other stuff as well. So we've actually got 100 prompts inside the video notes too. So let's try this right now. So what we can actually do is combine web search inside OpenRouter with a prompt like this. So if we go back to OpenRouter here, and now we've got the new version from Hunter Alpha as well. So if we preview that, this is the other output for the AI Profit Boarding website. That's looking pretty nice too. So either way, these are great for UI. I mean, it looks pretty cool, interesting, animated background, as you can see as well. The outputs look nice. And both of these websites worked first time around when we were testing out the APIs, which is pretty cool too. And then we can take a prompt like this as well. So we could say, okay, let's say you're doing research in your niche. You say, okay, who's the top 5 competitors in the AI automation community niche? Or the SEO industry. And then we can use both APIs, as you can see right here, to test the outputs, but also to use this, for reasoning, for example, content, whatever you want. Now you can combine the web search with the free APIs, which you can use at the top. And you can use both models at the same time as well, which is pretty cool. Now, let's also look at some new empowering beliefs to win with this stuff, right? So, the old belief was like people thought they needed to pay for AI models to get good results. But as you've seen today, you can use these free models. Sometimes they're free and sometimes they're released anonymously, right? So, for example, Hunter Alpha has 1 trillion parameters and over 1 million token of context. It's free. It was built by someone who obviously has really good infrastructure, right? So you can use this. And, if you check in OpenRouter regularly, you'll find stealth models like this that you can start testing. Other people will say, well, I'm not technical enough to use these advanced AI models. But honestly, if you can test and type a sentence, you can run a frontier model like this. You don't need to install anything. You don't need to write a line of code. You literally just go to the chat inside OpenRouter, enable artifacts like we've done today, and then you're good to go, right? And as you've seen, we've already built 2 new versions of my website. Some people as well will say, well, like free AI tools are always low quality or not worth my time, blah, blah, blah. Honestly, like the level and the free tiers of AI in 2026 are really powerful, like far more powerful than paid tiers a couple of years ago. So, free models on OpenRouter, for example, like this are super powerful. They create great outputs and they're good to go from there. So just to recap on everything that we've covered today, the 2 new models are Hunter Alpha, 1 trillion parameters, 1 million token context window. And then you've got Healer Alpha, which is omnimodal, 262K context window, and free on OpenRouter as well, right? You can use them inside the chat. They're good to go. And if you want to get all the video notes, the frameworks, the 30-day roadmap from today, and also 100 prompts you can test with this stuff, you can get that inside the AI Profit Boardroom. This is my AI automation community that helps you save time, grow, and scale with AI automation. Also, inside the community, you can ask questions, get help, get support whenever you need to. You can also post inside the community. There's always people online. There's actually 2,600 members inside here, which means you can always get help and support like pretty much 24/7, which is awesome as well. And additionally, you can get access to all of our video coaching calls each week as well inside the community. Now, at this point, you might be saying, okay, that's great, but what are people's results in this community like? And you can see some examples right here. So we've actually got 136 pages of testimonials from people winning with our training inside the AI Profit Boardroom. So there's lots of cool people inside there, lots of people getting results, and you can see some examples right here as well. All right. So it's like an infinite scroll at this point of people getting results with the training that we do. Now, also, you can see inside the map that you can zoom in locally and meet people in your local area, DM them, jump on a Zoom call, connect with them, etc. And then additionally, inside the classroom here, you can get all of our best training. So for example, you can go from beginner to expert with AI automation and learn how to build your first AI agent in under 5 minutes. Additionally, you can, for example, learn how to automate X and newsletters and shorts and Instagram based on what's working for me. So you'll get access to all of my best video tutorials and step-by-step trainings here too. On top of that, you'll learn you'll learn all the daily updates, which you can see right here. So we actually have a 6-hour OpenClaw course and another 3-hour course right here. And you can see that each day we update these trainings with the newest, latest guides, video tutorials, and step-by-step plans for implementing all this stuff, usually with a 30-day roadmap and 100 prompts so you can test. So we've already got 4 new trainings added today. And I just look at everything that's come out, and then I'm like, right, okay, here's the most useful stuff for people inside the community. Additionally, you can learn how to get more clients with the agency course. You can watch about the coaching video course over here. You can learn how to rank #1 with AI SEO, and you can also learn how to grow a YouTube channel based on what's working for me inside the AI Profit Boardroom. So link inside the comments description, or go to the AIProfitBoardroom.com. Today, we have 2 new stealth models that you can actually connect directly to OpenClaw for free to run your local AI agent completely free using these new models from OpenClaw. So you can see some examples right here. For example, we actually set up OpenRouter and Hunter Alpha inside OpenClaw. So it's running with this API for free. And these are new stealth models, so nobody knows who's created them. But from my tests so far, they're pretty powerful stuff. So today, I'm going to be showing you how to connect them, what they actually are, how to use this with OpenClaw, and how to get started, okay? So if you want to connect OpenClaw with Hunter Alpha, the way that you can do this is there's 2 easy ways. Number one, you could run through the onboarding, right? So if you go to the quick start instructions for OpenClaw, which you can see on their GitHub, you can just run through the onboarding using this command, OpenClaw onboard, and you just go inside the terminal. The other way that you can do this is you can actually ask OpenClaw to switch APIs, but just be careful because sometimes that can break. And then the method that I actually used was I actually got Claude code, pasted in the GitHub instructions, pasted in the details from OpenRouter of the new stealth models, gave it my OpenRouter key, and then it's set up in about 2 minutes Hunter Alpha directly inside OpenClaw. Now, if we have a look here and we check, okay, is this working or not? I'm just going to do a quick speed test. So we'll see how long it takes for this to reply. All right, so we'll start the stopwatch here, and then I'm going to go back to OpenClaw and just say, are you working? And we'll see how quick and easy it is to get this to respond. And of course, before we do that, we just have to make sure this is running. So I'm just going to run this command inside the terminal. So let's start the timer and then we'll see how long it takes to respond. So it's pretty fast. Responded within, I would say, probably within about 3 seconds it took to reply to us, which is pretty good. It's not instant, but it is a free API you can connect to OpenClaw. And let's run the next test now. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to grab an API key from Google AI Studio, and then we're going to see how this performs in terms of getting, for example, Nana Banana set up with OpenClaw, right? So if we want to generate, for example, images, then we can use Nana Banana and the API key. So I'm going to grab that from AI Studio and then plug it into OpenClaw and see how smart this is. So I'm going to say set up Nana Banana with this Google AI Studio API key, then generate a test image to make sure it works. We'll grab the documentation on how to generate images with Nana Banana 2. Which we've got right here. And then I'll paste that into OpenClaw along with the API key. So you can see that I've added the documentation here. And this is how you can basically generate images using OpenClaw and a combination of Nana Banana 2. So we're beginning to add that inside the chat here. Vikla asked about API costs and my cost monthly. So honestly, like not a lot because we don't use APIs that much. Usually, for example, if I'm using OpenClaw, then I'm using the OAuth with that for GPT 5.4, right? Or for example, if I'm using Claude, then I'm using Claude Code, which comes with the plan I've already got with Claude. So usually not a lot at all. I try to minimize them as much as I can. We do have a few like Zapiers running in the background with OpenRouter, but we're using like older versions of Claude Sonnet. So it's not too bad at all. So that's set up now. Really didn't take a long time. Let's say generate an image and open it in a browser so I can view it. Super fast to respond, to be fair. And it seemed to manage to figure that out. And this is the image it generated, which is pretty cool. So it did that with Nano Banana 2. And it seems to work really well, right? So you can now easily set this up, link Nano Banana 2. You can see here, for example, it said here's your cyberpunk cityscape. So it created like a test image with flying cars and neon colors and that sort of thing. It worked pretty well too. So far, this is working really nicely. There were other models that I've tested previously with OpenClaw that were stealth models, like for example, Pony Alpha, that worked with, I think eventually it turned out to be GLM5. And that was not bad, but I would say this is superior. So whatever this API is, and you know, there's rumors that it's GPT 5.0 or GPT 5.5. It's definitely worth testing out. It works really well with OpenClaw. It seems to, and bear in mind that you can just use OpenClaw for free with this API directly. So at this point, you're probably wondering, like, what are the details on Hunter Alpha? How does it work? How does this API configured, etc.? So it's live on OpenRouter. You can get access right here, right? So this is Hunter Alpha, and it was just released about 24 hours ago. It's a 1 trillion parameter model, 1 million token context window. Doesn't cost anything to use, right? So it's free here, so you can see in the input and output tokens. It was built specifically for agentic use, so long horizon planning, complex reasoning, sustained multi-step task execution, and it's built with the instruction following precision that frameworks like OpenClaw need. So in simple words, it's a 3 trillion parameter brain designed to work really well with agentic tools, like for example, OpenClaw. Now let's just do one more test. What I'm going to do from here is we're going to try and install an extension to OpenClaw. So for example, we should be able to install Paperclip, which is a pretty cool like mission control dashboard, or we could take this one actually. Let's try and install this one, right? So this is another mission control dashboard we can install inside OpenClaw. So I'm going to give that task to OpenClaw here, and I'll say set up this mission control dashboard. Give it the GitHub link as well, and we'll see how it handles that. But so far, it's passed all the tests, right? It's pretty fast. It can work with APIs. It can generate images pretty quickly, understands how to handle API documentation. And it seems to be setting up mission control, but let's see how it handles this test as well. Now it says, I just downloaded OpenClaw for the first time. Nice. How's it going so far? In the meantime, whilst that's setting up, I've actually got a 30-day plan for using this API with OpenClaw inside the video notes from today. But one of the old beliefs that I'd say most people struggle with right now is they think, you know, you can't use free APIs with OpenClaw, but you actually can, as you've seen today. Like this seems to work better than a lot of the APIs I've actually tested with something like OpenClaw before, right? So I've tested other models, like for example, GLM, Minimax, all sorts of models with OpenClaw. This is one of the best so far. I mean, you can see here it's actually set up the mission control already. If we open that up, you can see that's working perfectly right here, which is pretty cool, right? So it's plugged in all the agents that we've got. It's created a nice dashboard right here. We've got a setup of the agents, mission control dashboard, etc. And that worked perfectly first time around. Plus, it was super fast to set up. So whatever this API is, it's super powerful and it actually works with OpenClaw. Other people say, well, I'm not technical enough to set up an AI agent. Honestly, if you have never used OpenClaw before, just get Claude Code set up for you, right? It takes like 2 minutes and it is super fast and easy to do. Other people say, well, I don't have time to set this up. you can get OpenClaw and this integration with Hunter Alpha set up in the space of 2 minutes. I did it this morning before this live stream. It was pretty easy and simple to do. So far, it's worked really well on all the tests that we've done. It handled the mission control test pretty well. It started creating images with the API documentation from Nana Banana. It's really fast to respond and it's free to use. So if you're thinking about testing or if you need a free API to work with OpenClaw, then I would definitely check this out. It's pretty cool. Ned says, I haven't figured out what OpenClaw does yet, really. I'm still trying to set it up. So if you want more tips and guides on this stuff, check out the AI Profit Boarding. We have a full 6-hour course on OpenClaw, and we have another 3-hour course right here. And each day we run new daily tutorials on how to use OpenClaw with different things. So, for example, we've got a full guide on paperclip, which is basically like, it's a cool way to make OpenClaw like a company with different agent team members, and you can get the full guide, 30-day roadmap, and 100 prompts to test with it inside the AI Profit Boarding. And each day we create new guides like this so that you can test them out, video tutorials, full step-by-step guides, etc. And it's all inside the AI Profit Boardroom. So this is my community that helps you learn AI, save time, and grow with AI automation. There's 2,600 people in there, which means there's always people online that you can ask questions, you can get help and support from, etc. You can post questions inside the community, you can share your wins, you can join our daily accountability group, which means that you stay laser focused on your goals. You can also, for example, check out my weekly post where I look at everything that's come out. And I'm like, if you just read one thing this week, it's this, right? So you can stay updated with all the latest AI updates based on my 60 hours of research. And I filter out, okay, here's the most useful stuff, and here's the stuff you can ignore. Additionally, inside the calendar, you can see that we do weekly coaching calls. You can jump on live video coaching calls, get help, get support in real time. You can also meet people inside your local area. So you can zoom in on the map, meet people in your local area, DM them, ask some questions, that sort of thing. And inside the classroom here, you get all of my best trainings as well. Now, at this point, you might be wondering, okay, like, are people getting results with this? We actually have over 136 pages of testimonials from people winning with AI automation from our training. So you can see some examples right here of what people are achieving, what they're getting results with, just loads of positive wins, right? It's just a helpful, supportive community that's super positive, lots of people getting results inside there, and that's what we like to see, right? And this is basically an infinite scroll at this point of of testimonials and wins and people just getting awesome stuff. So that's what we like right now. Here's an example. So we also have inside the classroom all of my best training. So if you want to go from beginner to expert with AI automation and learn how to build your first AI agent in under 5 minutes, you can check this section out right here. If you want to learn the playbooks I personally use inside my business, then you can check out how I create AI avatar videos and my step-by-step tutorial right here. You can also learn how I automate Instagram and shorts and newsletters and Twitter, etc., all using AI automation inside this section. Now, additionally, you can get my daily SOP updates. So what this allows you to do is get the new updates based on all the cool stuff that just launched. So I look at everything that just came out, I research everything, and I find out what's the most useful thing for you. And then I turn that into a video tutorial with a step-by-step guide, a 30-day roadmap on how to master this stuff, and additionally over 100 prompts you can test with this, right? And so this just makes it super actionable so that you can actually implement new updates inside your business. On top of that, you can learn how to get more clients with the agency course. You can watch back the coaching calls if you miss them live. You can learn how to rank #1 with AI SEO. And you can also learn how to grow a YouTube channel based on what's working for me, all inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Link inside the comments description, or go to the AIProfitBoardroom.com. Nez says, can OpenClaw fill out forms or like do browser stuff? Yeah, so you can get it to fill out forms inside browser automations, or what you can also do is you can set up the Chrome extension with OpenClaw, right? So if you go inside the search bar here, type in OpenClaw browser extension, so Chrome extension. We actually have a full setup guide on how to use browser automation with OpenClaw using the Chrome extension, right? And from there, you can see all these guides here, but you can basically learn how to set up OpenClaw browser control so that it can operate your browser and start clicking buttons for you and all that sort of stuff. The Snow Cup says, what do I use to build an AI receptionist? So I'd use something like 11 Labs. You can create voice agents with 11 Labs. We've done that before on our website before. And you can actually see there's a lot of trainings here on how to use voice agents with 11 Labs. And these come with video tutorials and step-by-step guides, so you can easily implement this stuff. Vic says, wow, it's really fast. Makes me want to try it whilst it's still free. Yeah, bear in mind with those stealth models, right? So like, for example, this one, they do get, eventually they do get removed from OpenRouter. So, if you're thinking about using them, use them now whilst you still can. Otherwise, eventually they'll just get taken off OpenRouter once the model fully launches. Juan says, is Cowork better than OpenClaw? So for me personally, I prefer to use Claude Code out of everything I've tested, or just Claude inside the browser. So I just tend to find like it's a lot easier, it's a lot more reliable, it doesn't break. So for me personally, I prefer to use Claude or Claude Code for setting things up. Whereas, for example, if you're using OpenClaw, it can be a little bit technical. That's why we do so much training on it, because people really struggle with setting up. Vic says, I will watch the entire live later to set up this. And then the Fisher Dan says, I'm loving Accomplish at the minute. Yeah, Accomplish was very impressive, really powerful tool. If you haven't seen this already and you need some help on this for anyone watching, then you can see that we've actually got a full comparison and video tutorial on OpenClaw versus Accomplish right here, with a step-by-step guide as always on exactly how to use this stuff. Nvidia Nemotron 3 Super is now available for free on Ollama. And today we're going to be testing out. I'll show you exactly how to use it, how to run it locally. We'll break down exactly what Nemotron 3 Super is and why it's different. I'll show you how to install it for free with Ollama in under 5 minutes. We'll build and show you some automation workflows. And I'll show you how to connect it to whatever tool you want using this, right? So if you're wondering, okay, what is Nemotron 3 Super, how does it perform, etc. So you can see some examples of the benchmarks right here. This is a brand new release from Nvidia. It literally just came out, and you can see how it performs on the benchmarks, right? Now, the difference between, say, Claude Opus 4.5 and GPT 5.4 on these benchmarks is that Nemotron can be run locally, right? So you can actually run this for free locally with Ollama, which is what I'm showing you today. And it's a brand new AI model dropped by Nvidia. It's 120 billion parameters total, but only activates 12 billion at a time, called a mixture of experts architecture. That means you get a lot of intelligence, but you get lightweight compute power, right? It also has a 1 million token context window. So you can feed it, like, for example, your entire business documents, entire code bases, entire SOPs without it losing track. You can see all the details on how it works right here. And it's available for free. Now, you can see how it performs on the benchmarks. Usually, I don't pay attention to the benchmarks so much. And also, the difference here is, like, you can run this on the cloud too, right? So you can see here it's a big model, right? 87 gigabytes, pretty big. Bear in mind sorry, just to recorrect myself there, it's 256K on the context window, not 1 million. But yeah, you can see the details here. So you can run it on cloud or you can run it locally, right? Bear in mind, if you run it locally, you do need a strong setup because it's 87 gigabytes, which is a pretty big model if you ask me. So we're going to have a look at how to use it, why it matters, my framework for personally using it, etc. And I'll show you how to get this set up, okay? So if you want to set this up with Ollama, first thing you're going to do is download Ollama. If you don't know how to do that, you can either download it right here, right? So you can just click on download Ollama, or what you can do is you can copy and paste this command into your terminal, right? And this will install OpenClaw directly. Sorry, not OpenClaw, Ollama. Now, when you're using Ollama, it's free to download. Once you've done that, you can then go to the model section over here, all right? And you would just scroll down to Nemotron 3 Super. Now, if you run this locally and install it locally, as I've said before, it's a big model, right? 87 gigabytes. So you need a really good setup to run this. Now, I'll show you how this works. So, for example, if you wanted to run Ollama with Nemotron locally using the big model download, then you would just open up Ollama. So make sure you have it running over here. Then you're going to go to your terminal and you can plug in this command like so. And that'll begin to open the model. Now, as I said, depending on your setup, this could slow you down. Let's see how it performs on mine. I'm running this on a Mac Studio, so you can see my setup right here. We're running this on an Apple M4 Max. So that's one way to run it. And then the other option that you have is you can run this with Cloud, right? Now, Cloud will make it a lot faster. There are token limits with Cloud, but you can get access to this directly using the Cloud model, right? So you can type in Ollama Nemotron 3 Super Cloud. Just make sure that you type Ollama run Nemotron 3 Super Cloud. And once you've done that, you can see that we've now connected to Nemotron 3 Super. So for example, if we say, okay, build a new website for my AI automation community, the AI Profit Boardroom, we can pull up the terminal here and say, build a new landing page. And then just paste in the information that you want to add, right? And now you can see it's beginning to work. So it's beginning to respond directly. And that's how you can use this, right? Now, I think the screen share just stopped working for that. So I'm just going to show you that again. One second. All right, let's try that again. So to run the cloud model with Ollama, make sure you have Ollama running. Then you're going to take this command and type Ollama run first, right? So you type Ollama run and then you paste that in. And that's how you can start using the cloud model inside Ollama. You also have another option, which is you can open up Ollama itself, the app, and then you can actually select Nemotron 3 Super directly here, right? So that's the other option. If you want a nice UI, you can use it inside Nemotron 3 Super here. I would also be interested to know if it's running inside LM Studio, which is another kind of alternative to using something like Ollama. So let's go over to the model search and we'll have a look. Yeah, look at that. So you can use it inside here too. It's a huge model. You've got different options for this as well. So you could use Nemotron 3 Nano, which is a smaller model, an older model, but you could use that if you want to run this locally too. So if you type in Nemotron 3 Super, you can see a bunch of options right here. But the only one that looks like a relevant release is this one from 9 hours ago, right? So if we wanted to start using this, let's just check if it's working. Yep, so it's pretty fast and it's easy to use with the cloud model. And then if you wanted to use it inside, for example, like something like Claude Code or Codex or OpenCode, it's pretty simple and easy. So what you can do here is you would open up a new window. If you want to run this locally with, for example, Claude Code, then you would just copy and paste this command and paste it in like that, right? Now, if you want to use the cloud model, you just add to the end of this Super Cloud, right? And now that will launch Claude Code with Nemotron 3 Super Cloud. And there you go, right? So now you can see that Nemotron 3 Super Cloud is plugged into Claude Code, and we can use Claude Code for free with this cloud model. Pretty nice. Now, if we actually go over to our settings inside Ollama, you can see our session usage and weekly usage. And this is for cloud usage, right? So you can see here that even though we've been using this cloud model and other cloud models in other live streams recently, you can see that we've only used 6% of our cloud usage. So it doesn't run out that quickly if you want to use the free cloud plan. That's my point here. Now, Ned says, what's the Ollama Cloud free tier like? So if we go to the settings over here, go to usage, you can see your cloud usage right here. So even though I've been testing it, even though I've been trying Nemotron 3 Super with this model, it seems to work pretty quickly and easily without rinsing the usage. And you get a session usage, so this resets every like 3 hours. And then you also get weekly usage, which resets every week, right? And so if you're on the free plan using the cloud models, you can get access to those. And you can see like it doesn't run out too quickly, but it depends on what you're doing and how you're working with this and what sort of stuff you're creating, etc. So now let's try creating a new website. So I'm going to say create a new awesome landing page for my AI profit boarding community using the details below. And then I'll paste in the copyright I want to add inside here, right? So you can see that it's working straight away, super fast to respond, and it's now right in the HTML. And now you can see we've got the full code block right here from Nemotron 3 Super. So it's fast, it's responsive, seems to work pretty well. Let's just test out this HTML. See what it looks like in action. So I've tested the code inside LiveWeave. This is the code from Nemotron 3 Super that we ran via Ollama, and you can see the output of the website here. Now, I'm not gonna tell you that's as good as something like Claude Opus 4.5, but it does the job, and it did create the page locally. You could always improve the design and that sort of thing, but it was easy to set up and it was easy to get it working. So that is Nemotron 3 Super. What we've actually done is create a super agent stack framework for using this with Ollama. So the framework has 3 layers, right? And this is inside the video notes from today. So layer 1 is a brain. You've got Nemotron 3 Super running locally via Ollama, and this can handle your reasoning, planning, writing, decision making. Bear in mind, if you're running it on the cloud, obviously it's not running locally, and that depends on your setup. So either way, you can run it locally or you can run it in the cloud. Then you've got layer 2, the agent. So this is powered by the Nemotron Super 3 model. And then you've got the workflows, right? So you could connect this to, for example, like NA10 or that sort of thing. And the old way was like manually writing every prompt, manually copying and pasting outputs, manually posting content, etc. The new way is you could build like a local AI agent stack that does the research, the writing, the outreach, and the content for you. I've shown you how to set it up. It's just like a couple of simple terminal commands. And we actually have a 30-day plan for implementing this stuff. So if you want to go from like beginning to install it to, for example, like building your own customer FAQ bot, or for example, using this to automate content for your business, etc., we've got a full step-by-step 30-day plan inside the video notes today. But the main point here is like you can use this as a cloud model, and it's free to use, right? So some people say, well, I need a massive server to run a powerful AI model, and that's your belief, right? The fact is, Nemotron 3 Super can run via one terminal command on Ollama just using the cloud-based prompt. It's pretty simple and easy to use it. Other people say, well, free AI models are always worse than paid ones. Honestly, for this one, it depends what you're doing, but I would say it's a pretty powerful model if you're just giving it simple tasks and if you need something quick and free to use. And then additionally, some people say, well, I'm not technical enough to run local models, right? But literally all you do is you set up Ollama, and this was built for non-technical people, so you can run AI models, right? The installation takes 5 minutes. You just click a button, and then it's one command in your terminal, and the model is running, right? So you don't need any technical knowledge to use this. By the way, if you're inside the AI Profit Boarding already and you're wondering, okay, how to get access to this guide, so you go to the SOP update section, so Classroom, SOP updates, and then Nemotron 3 Super plus Ollama. And you can find the full step guide right here. right? So that's basically it for Nemotron Super and how to use it. It's a powerful model from Nvidia. We've tested out. It runs pretty fast locally. You can use it for free, and it's just like a quick terminal command that you can use as well. We have a full framework for using this stuff, along with a 30-day roadmap on how to use it. And this is all inside the AI Profit Boardroom community, which is my community dedicated to helping you learn, grow, and scale with AI automation. So you can post questions inside the community, you can connect with cool people. There's always people online, which means that you can meet awesome people all the time. Inside the calendar, we have 4 weekly coaching calls. You can get help and support whenever you need to. Inside the map, you can connect with local people inside your area, DM them, jump on a Zoom call, etc. And inside the classroom here, you get access to all of my best trainings. Now, if you're wondering, okay, like, are people getting results of this? What's the feedback so far? So you can see we actually have over 136 pages of testimonials from people winning with AI automation, right? So here's an example from Caden. These are real people with real testimonials from the AI Profit Boardroom community, and just lots of people winning and getting awesome results of it, right? This is basically an infinite scroll of 136 pages of wins. So it's pretty awesome. Here's another one, right? So if you want to get my best trainings for this stuff, you can go inside the classroom here as well, and you can go from beginner to expert and learn how to build your first AI agent with AI automation inside this section right here. If you want to learn how I automate my business, so for example, how I automate Twitter, newsletters, and shorts, and Instagram, you can learn that inside this section. If you want to get my daily updates, including the guide from today, you can get that inside the SOP update section. And you can see here, for example, we have a full 6-hour course on how to use OpenClaw, another 3-hour course right here, and a bunch of other cool trainings that we update daily. So it's a very active community with new stuff and new training all the time as well, right? Additionally, you can learn how to get more clients with the agency course. You can watch back the coaching calls if you didn't make them live. You can learn how to rank #1 with AI SEO, and you can also learn how to grow a YouTube channel with AI based on what's working for me with this roadmap. So that's all inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Link inside the comments description, or go to the aiprofitboardroom.com. OpenClaw plus Ollama plus Nvidia Nemotron 3 Super, completely free, running with OpenClaw. And this has just changed what's possible for solopreneurs using AI agents. Here's what you're going to see today. So you're going to learn what OpenClaw actually is and why it's different from every other AI tool you've ever used before, what Nvidia Nemotron 3 Super is, and why it's a big deal, how to connect OpenClaw to Ollama in under 10 minutes, a live 30-day framework to build your own AI agent stack step by step using Nemotron 3 Super and OpenClaw, and the exact prompts you can copy and use right now, and exactly how to use it. So if you've been watching AI tools explode and wondering when one was actually going to feel like your assistant, then this is it. Let's get straight into it. So we're going to get this set up. As you can see right here, we're running this via Ollama, right? So this is a brand new model from Nvidia called Nemotron 3 Super. Now you can run this for free inside Claude Code, Codex, OpenCode, and what we're doing today is running it with OpenClaw, right? Now there's a couple of different options. You can run this as a local model depending on your setup. It is 87 gigabytes, which is absolutely massive if you ask me, and it takes a long time to set up and install. If you want a faster way to run this in just one command, you can just run the cloud model instead, and I'll be showing you exactly how to set this up directly, okay? So if you weren't aware already, OpenClaw is a powerful AI assistant, and Ollama is a way of running models either in the cloud or locally, right? And the cool thing is, once you've actually set up OpenClaw and installed it locally, then you can get the models from Ollama to run through OpenClaw very, very quickly indeed. All right. So let me show you exactly how this works in action. So what you want to do is make sure, number one, you've downloaded Ollama, right? And you can just download it right here inside the download section of ollama.com. Once you've done that, you're then going to go to Nemotron 3 Super, and you would from here scroll down, make sure that you've got the cloud model or the local model of Ollama and Nemotron 3 Super running right here. So you can just copy and paste this command into your terminal. And then finally, you're going to copy and paste this command to run it with OpenClaw. So let me show you how that works in practice. All right, so we've got our terminal set up here, right? And so what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we have the cloud model of Ollama set up. How do we do that? So all we do is we go inside the terminal and we paste Ollama run and then Nemotron -3 super :cloud, right? Now that connects to Nemotron 3 Super. Great. Now, if you ever want to close it, you can just type in /by, and that will actually close the model for you as well. Now, once you've done that, and you've got the cloud model running, then what you can do is you can go back to your terminal and you can run this command, right? And this command is Ollama launch OpenClaw model Nemotron 3 Super. And if you want to run the cloud model, you just do :cloud. Boom, right? Now we can get that set up. We hit yes. We've installed it. And boom shakalaka, we now have OpenClaw connected with Nemotron 3 Super. And we can see it running on this URL right here. All right. Now you can chat to it directly inside here, right? Inside the terminal, or you can run OpenClaw inside your browser. Let me show you how that works. So this is the gateway for OpenClaw, and it's now running with Nemotron 3 Super. So you see it says, "Good morning, I'm awake and ready. What should we build today?" That's after we reset the gateway after using Ollama and Nemotron 3 Super. So if we say, okay, what API/model are you using to run OpenClaw? And now you can see that we've just switched it to Super Cloud, right? Now, what I actually had to check there was I said, what API model are you using to run OpenClaw? And even though we ran the terminal commands for Ollama, it still used Hunter Alpha, our previous model, as the main API. So just double check it. And if you see that it's not using the right API, so if you want to use Ollama, but it's using another model, then just say, can you switch to Ollama Nemotron 3 Super after you've installed it? And then it switches it over like so. And we're now running OpenClaw with Super Cloud. Nice. And you can see that it's free to use, which is awesome. So now what we can do is we can say, okay, what happened today in AI automation, just to check this is working. And now it's responding. And it's using Ollama web search to do this. And you can see the news summary here, right? So it says Nvidia launches Nemotron 3 supermodel. That's the first thing on the news. And it's got a bunch of other news articles that it's found right here, right? So all from March 11th, 2026. Pretty nice. And then it's recapped it right here. So it's pretty fast to respond. It works first time round. It's free to connect with OpenClaw, and you can connect it in just a couple of prompts like you've seen today. So really powerful, useful model. If you just want to run something for free inside OpenClaw, this is one of the best ways to do it. Now, there's another option for free APIs, if you haven't seen this already, which just came out today, which is Hunter Alpha. Hunter Alpha is a super powerful API you can use with OpenClaw 2. I've got another video on that if you want to check out, or just check out the training inside the AI Profit Boardroom. As Vic says, Hunter Alpha is really good to talk to, and it works really well with OpenClaw 2. So that's another free option that you could run. And Vic says 87 gigabytes, that's crazy. Yeah, so again, you can use a cloud model, which is a lot faster if you don't have the setup to run Nemotron 3 Super locally. But either way, you can get it working and you can get it running for free in just a few minutes like you've seen today, right? So let's talk through the Claw Agent Framework. And this is basically how to build a 24/7 personal AI agent stack for free using a combination of OpenClaw, Ollama, and Nemotron 3 Super. So just to recap, what is OpenClaw and why does it matter? OpenClaw is an open source personal assistant that runs locally. And it sits on your machine and connects to your messaging apps. It answers you there in your inbox, etc. And now with Ollama and Nvidia Nemotron 3 Super, you can plug in a 120 billion parameter model for free running on your device, right? Now, you might be wondering, okay, what is Nemotron 3 Super? So this is a 120 billion parameter mixture of experts model, right? It's got a 256,000 token context window, so you can remember and read a lot. 120 billion parameters, which is enormous. It's fast and efficient because it only activates 12 billion of those parameters at any one time. It's built specifically for multi-agent applications. It supports different languages, and it's fully open weight, which means it's free to use commercially as well. And it scores pretty well on the benchmarks too. Now, how does this work together? Well, here's a stack in plain language. So OpenClaw is basically the control plane, right? It's the assistant brain. It's the thing that connects to your channels and runs your agent. Ollama is the local model runner, right? So it lets you run AI models on your own machine. And Nemotron 3 Super is the model itself, the intelligence, the thing that thinks and responds. Now, when you stack them together, you've got, for example, like your WhatsApp or your Discord or your Telegram, and that's running with OpenClaw, Ollama, and Nemotron 3 Super, and the whole loop happens for free with your AI agent. Now, if you want a 30-day plan for installing and using this stuff, you can get it inside the video notes from today, as you can see. But basically, this works. It's pretty powerful to run, easy to set up, quick to respond, and it's free. Now, let's talk about some of the new empowering beliefs you need to win with this, right? So some people say, well, I need expensive tools to run an AI agent. So for example, a lot of people complain, OpenClaw is great, but they can't afford the API costs. But you can use Nemotron Nvidia 3 Super with cloud, and you don't have to worry about that. Other people say, well, I'm not technical enough to run AI model like this, but literally all it was a case of copying and pasting a command into terminal, right? And then you can run this model as you've seen today. Other people say, well, I need to be at my desk to use AI, but your AI agent can answer you in WhatsApp, Telegram, Discord, wherever you already are using this stack from today. So that's basically it. We've covered how to set up Nvidia Nemotron Super. We've covered how to use it with OpenClaw. We've covered how it performs in OpenClaw directly, and it performed pretty well, and it was all easy to set up, right? So if you want to get the full step-by-step guide, the video notes, the 30-day roadmap, and 100 prompts on how to use this with OpenClaw, you can get that inside the AI Profit Boardroom. This is my AI automation community that helps you save time and grow and learn AI automation. Now, if you go to the classroom and then SOP updates, you can get the full guide from today. As you can see, you can also get a full 6-hour course on OpenClaw and another 3-hour course right here. Additionally, we show you how to set up Hunter and Healer Alpha, which are new stealth models you can also use for free with OpenClaw. And they're really powerful, probably better than Nemotron 3 Super in many ways. And inside this community as well, it's a helpful, supportive community. So you can post questions, you can get help and support, you can meet cool people, you can join our daily accountability group. You can see that each week I actually post an update where I break down what are the most useful updates for you this week, and what stuff can you ignore so you save time. Additionally, you can jump on weekly video coaching calls so you can get help and support in real time. And inside the classroom here, you get access to all my best trainings. Now, you can also meet people in your local area. So if you zoom in on one of these local areas, you can DM people, meet people in your local area, etc., which is awesome. So you could, for example, find people doing similar things to you, which is pretty hard at the minute. And then also, inside the classroom here, for example, you get my best training. So you can go from beginner to expert with AI automation and learn how to build your first AI agent in under 5 minutes. You can also, for example, get my best playbooks on how to automate Instagram and AI avatar videos and shorts and newsletters and Twitter. These are all automations that I personally use, and we create video tutorials and step-by-step guides on exactly how to emulate the same thing. Now, inside the SOP update section, this is where you get my daily updates on all the new cool stuff that just came out, as you can see. And then additionally, you can learn how to get more clients through the agency course. You can watch about the coaching calls. You can learn how to rank #1 with AI SEO using this section. And then additionally, you can learn how to grow a YouTube channel with this roadmap based on what's working for me on YouTube right now with AI. So feel free to get that. It's all inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Link in the comments description, or just go to the AIProfitBoardroom.com. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.